Now we're going to talk about the rumor mill, because that's the only one left. We have leaks, we have Star Wars stuff, we have two huge Star Wars rumors that are actually kind of related, and then just, you know, gaming and things and more Wheel of Fortune, actually. So, let's start. Hello, nerds. I know what you want. You're looking for the rumors, aren't you? Well, you've probably come to the right place, because that's what this is. This is the rumor mill. This is a section cut out of the much longer main episode over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. We talk about all of the news related to nerdiness and pop culture and such. And then at the end of every episode, we talk about the rumors. And so you just found a cheat code and you went straight to the rumors section, which is, you know, all right, so let's just cut to the rumors now, shall we? Start with news sources, because we don't have any confirmations or refutations, but we do have some news sources. And the first news source is actually an amalgamation of other sources kind of in one place. So Mortal Kombat 1, the proper roster for the launch state of the game has been kept very, very much under wraps. And according to some recent leaks, we might know the majority of the roster. So we're going to go through, I'm just going to list all of the characters real quick, and then we'll talk about, it's going to be 1 percentage point. I know it's a new source and blah, 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 but whatever. It's a new source for old rumor, but let's do this. So, Havik, Reiko, Nitara, Li Mei, Ashrah, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Smoke, Reptile, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Raiden, Shang Tsung, Kitana, Mileena, Tanya, Sindel, Johnny Cage, and Kenshi are all rumored to be main character, like playable characters in the main roster of Mortal Kombat 1. So I'm giving this roster a 65% because a number of things are sticking out to me here. First, Li Mei and Ashrah, because Ashrah's story is kind of dependent on other things being established that I don't think would make sense to establish in this game in order for her to make sense. They could very much change who this character is, because this is a reboot of the universe once again. So I could be wrong, which is why it's more likely than not, but still, Ashrah is not there. Li Mei is a little bit more flexible, but still I think that she's so tertiary in the eyes of casual players for Mortal Kombat that she seems less likely to make it in over some of the other more popular characters. And then Sindel. I don't think Sindel is going to be a main roster character. I think she might be a cameo. There has been some people who are digesting every individual frame of content that has been released for Mortal Kombat 1 since the trailer was it a month ago now? So yes, we have seen that very probably Sindel, the character model, exists in the background of one of the arenas, but I just don't see her being mainline. I think they're going to be focusing on Kitana and Mileena, and Sindel and possibly Shao Kahn will both be in the game, but as cameos, not as main roster. So again, 65% likely that this roster is the majority chunk of the main roster that we get with the final game. Now let's move over to news sources for Star Wars rumors. This has been floating around for some time, that Lucasfilm is going to be sold off by Disney. So the first of these rumors that I heard, and then we're going to talk about, is that Disney is going to sell Lucasfilm back to George Lucas. And the other rumor is very similar, is that Disney is going to potentially sell Lucasfilm to a foreign oil tycoon. I'm going to say this again and again and again, it would seem, every time this thing gets brought up. They did not spend $4 billion on a franchise just to sell it back to the guy they bought it from or sell it to some random person. Like, that just, none of this makes sense. They didn't drop that kind of cash on this franchise in order for this. So not bloody likely on either count. Disney is going to run Star Wars into the ground, whether it kills them or not. All right, so let's talk about new rumors, shall we? First up, we have another Superman Legacy rumor. This one is kind of more secondarily related to Superman Legacy, but it is rumored that in the Superman Legacy movie is going to be our introduction to the Authority group of superheroes and from the DC multiverse. We do know there is going to be an Authority movie, and since Superman is the only major DC property that's going to get a movie before the Authority movie is set to be released, it only stands to reason that this is going to be our proper introduction to the Authority. So 75% likely that that is legitimate. The next one has to do with Batman 2. This is, I didn't know how to deal with this one actually, so I'm just gonna leave this open for another talking point. We have Josh Hartnett and Joel Edgerton are both said to be in final discussions to potentially play Two-Face in the Batman sequel. I would be honestly legitimately down for either of these guys. I think Joel Edgerton would be more appropriate for it. He just seems to be a little bit more versatile as far as his acting abilities. Hartnett's a fine actor. I'm not trying to disparage Hartnett at all, but I think Edgerton's a little bit more of a well-rounded actor. So I think he would probably be more appropriate for the role, but I would be down for either of them. So I didn't know. It's the same source. The same source says that these two are both potentially going to be it. So how do I weigh it against itself? It doesn't make sense. So there's no percentage on that one. But next up we have Legend of Zelda rumor that has to do with the live action or major motion picture release anyway, because depending on which source you're talking about, some sources are calling it a live action, some sources are saying it's going to be Illumination Studios doing another animated movie, much like they did for the Super Mario Brothers just recently. But apparently they are nearing a final deal for distribution through Universal. Yeah, this is kind of one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood right now. 90% likely that we will be hearing an announcement about this very, very soon, and that it will be through Universal once again. So from there, we're going back to the Wheel of Fortune for a moment. The rumor here is that replacing Pat Sajak is going to be Ryan Seacrest. This could honestly go either way. So we're going to go 50%. Either way, Seacrest is super busy dude. He has a lot of jobs in Hollywood. So that's kind of the reason why not, and the reason why it might be him, because maybe he's done doing morning show and he wants to do the Wheel of Fortune instead of live with Ryan and Kelly. Or I don't know, maybe he's gonna drop one of his other 50 projects. It could go either way. So yeah, very, very riding the fence, if you will, as to whether or not we're going to see Ryan Seacrest replace Pat Sajak. So once again, 50% on that. Once again, these were the rumors from the most recent episode of The Week in Nerddom, found over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. The name of the show, once again, The Week in Nerddom. Come back next time, because we got lots more rumors to debunk or possibly give some credence to or what have you and whatnot. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.